those of you who are devastated, time will heal.
New text messages show the pressure former NFL quarterback Brett Favre was putting on then Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant. Favre requested money for an indoor football practice facility.
Things will get better. It shall pass.
So how should the leagues support and promote an anti-racism position without becoming political and alienating fans? Thank you.
Well, Brett is a great guy.
I find it hard to believe, first of all, that he intentionally meant to kill George Floyd. I mean, I don't know what led to that video that we saw where his knee is on his neck. I know when I turn on a game, I want to watch a game. I want to watch players play. I don't think that we should defund the police in no way, shape, or form.
In a different text exchange, Favre asking New, if you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from?
The suit was brought by the Mississippi Department of Human Services in May in an attempt to recover millions in misspent money. Favre also seemingly pushed to build an indoor practice facility to lure recruits like Deion Sanders' son Shador, and for funding for a pharmaceutical company he is an investor in.
Favre's also an outspoken conservative, an ally of former President Donald Trump. There they are on the golf course together. Thumbs up. Now, Favre is currently embroiled in a controversy involving the use of federal welfare funds set aside for the state of Mississippi's most vulnerable residents, which were reportedly diverted to Favre and others.
Last year, middle of last year, my office, which includes 135 CPAs, investigators, and attorneys, we got a tip in that suggested that the director of the Department of Human Services was misdirecting money and potentially involved in an embezzlement scheme.
NFL Hall of Famer Brett Favre is facing questions tonight of whether he knowingly took $5 million of state welfare money to build a new volleyball facility for his daughter's team 5 years ago at her university and his alma mater.
The Brett Favre saga has taken yet another turn.
Typical white conservative male that's stuck in his own little world that doesn't give a damn about anything that doesn't impact him. You would think Brett Favre, born and raised in Kill, Mississippi, does any place in America have any more racist history than Mississippi? But Brett Favre is unaware. Can you tell dumb politics has always been in sport?
Involving NFL Hall of Famer and ESPN host Shannon Sharpe. One may remember, Favre sued Shannon Sharpe, the ex-member of Fox Sports 1, who he claimed defamed him by calling him a, quote, sorry mofo to steal from the lowest of the low, and that Favre, quote, stole money from people that really needed that money. He wasn't the only one.
I've officially been served by Brett Favre. It's officially official. I have been sued by Brett Favre. Here we go.
Let's go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The only thing you should be serving on Sundays is the Lord.
I would like to let the New York lawyers that wrote me 2 letters before this thing got announced. First letter was, we would like you to go back and erase every single video that has Brett Favre's name mentioned in it from your YouTube library, your Twitter library, and everything else. This is a warning shot, pretty much. So I looked at that. I said, that is hilarious.
Favre would file a similar claim against McAfee and
welfare money that was going to people who should not have been getting it.
State Auditor Shad White. On the McAfee front,
As many of you know, Brett Favre sued me over statements that I made about him on this program. As I confirmed in my court papers, and I repeat here, my statements expressed in comedic style were based solely on public information and allegations. I am pleased to report that based solely on me again clarifying these points now, with no settlement paid, Brett is withdrawing his suit against me.
And now back to the Sharpe front. In October of 2023, via the worldwide leader, Sharpe's employer, that suit would be dismissed. From U.S. District Court Judge Keith Sterrett in his statement, because Sharpe's comments are constitutionally protected rhetorical hyperbole using loose figurative language, they cannot support a defamation claim as a matter of law. In his dismissal, The judge would continue. The court also acknowledges that from the reports in the public arena, after government investigations, forensic audits, civil litigation, Favre's text messages, very key, and Favre's own implicit admission by returning $1.1 million to the state, it appears to be widely believed that the money obtained by the former quarterback for himself and the University of Southern Miss came from welfare funds. At the time, Favre and his team would basically say they are weighing their options on what to do next. And now, roughly 8 months later, we have one of those options via the Associated Press. Amit Vora, who is Favre's attorney, told 3/5 U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals judges in New Orleans, Louisiana, that the lawsuit should be revived, arguing that Shannon Sharpe accused Brett Favre, who has not been charged with a crime, of theft. Mike Florio, an ex-lawyer who is now running Pro Football Talk for NBC Sports, would give his opinion on the matter. The legal question for now is whether a reasonable listener could interpret Sharpe's comments as indicated that Favre actually stole money from Mississippi residents. If the prior ruling is upheld, Favre's next move after seeking a rehearing before the full Fifth Circuit would be to request the U.S. Supreme Court to take up his case. If the decision is overturned, it would go back to the lower court for further proceedings. Well, isn't that interesting? The United States Supreme Court, which is bought and paid for by the likes of Leonard Leo, conservative think tanks, dark money, could potentially make a ruling on someone in Trump's orbit and even going further in Trump's inner circle, that they play golf together, talk about each other glowingly, have made public appearances together, whether it is on the course or through the media, having multiple discussions on various subjects. It seems, on the surface, in my view, that could be a power play. Do I think that it'll reach the Supreme Court? No, I do not. But it is a very savvy move to know that the conservative SCOTUS is likely on Favre's side because they have shown errant ruling after errant ruling that leans towards these ideals. Via AJ Perez of Front Office Sports, who has done fantastic work on this case, Favre has long denied any wrongdoing as it relates to the $8 million temporary assistance for needy families or TANF funds that went to Favre, a volleyball arena at his alma mater, USM, Prevacus, the drug company that Favre invested in and served as a spokesperson for before the Mississippi welfare scandal came to light in 2020. If you want to learn more about that, check out a clip on demand where we go over his pharmaceutical companies that he tries to launch. Favre has not been charged criminally, although he's among more than 40 defendants in a lawsuit filed by Mississippi's welfare agency that seeks to recover some of the more than $77 million in misspent TANF funds. The three-judge appeals panel is expected to rule in the coming weeks, so this is something that you absolutely have to keep your eyes on. Where are they going to rule? When is it going to come? It should be noted, Sharpe's attorney, Joseph Terry, would say this. The judges that Sharpe's remarks were clearly an opinion offered when he was asked about a news report on the Mississippi welfare scandal and how the reports will affect Favre's legacy. If you read his comments in context, it's quite clear that he was expressing his opinions rhetorically, Terry would say. So I suppose we end with this. What do you make of it? How do you think they will rule? Do you believe that this should continue? Leave a thought in the comments section below. We appreciate y'all. Have a great day. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.